This video is made for adult collectors because the dude literally walks around with his pee-pee hanging out.
Activate proton cannon! You're all mine, Unicron!
I love Armada Starscream's design. Like, it's one of my all-time favorites after movie Starscream. Yeah, I know, Dorito. Armada Starscream as a character was pretty cool, but the toy was, well, it has some sick gimmicks, but it does look dumpy. Sterling 30 looks really nice, but it's a deluxe. So, how's the Voyager? Did they do the design in the original toy justice? Is this a good legacy of Armada Starscream? Almost. It looks the part, like deco, tooling, proportions, etc. They're all on point here. They nailed that. Head looks great and all too, but it's the little things that make me not like aspects of this. Emphasis on little. This sword is so small. Like, I get why it had to be budgeted into this and blah blah blah, but it's just incredibly tiny. It works great with the Thrilling 31 or with Hotshot, but not Starscream. Thankfully, I actually had Lockbot 3DP again reach out to me and say that he made an Armada Starscream sword, and he sent it over, and it looks so much better. It is 3D printed, but it still looks, it's proportionally a lot better, and there's two different versions. There's this one and one that is like the combined mini cons. So if you want to get those, they'll be linked in the description below, so you can check them out, and they're not that expensive, and they're pretty cool looking. Just note that they are 3D printed, so, you know, 3D printed stuff is you gotta be a little bit more careful with. But yeah, they're still pretty cool. I like them a lot, and thank you very much for sending them my way. He even sent me this thing, which is really cool. I think that's really awesome. I was expecting it to, like, it's just so cool. It's neat. I'm going to put magnets on this and stick this to my fridge. Also, just again to mention, I have a Patreon now. If you want, it'll be linked in the description below. There's already a couple of exclusive content thingies up there. But yeah, again, thank you very much. Now let's get down to the actual toy. Starscream looks great and poses great, and I guess if that's all you want, then yeah, he's fine. But there's no minicon packs. Like, I get that this isn't the main gimmick, but like, minicons were the whole thing of Armada, and if this is a toy line celebrating the legacy of Transformers, I feel like that's needed. There we go. Like, you have him on Bulkhead, which I still don't get, but you don't have them here. It's just a peg with a hole in the middle, nothing spectacular, and if they were a budget thing, get rid of the dinky Star Saber and just add them on. I think nobody would have cared. Other than that, he does pretty much everything I'd want it to. He has all the swooping angles and the correct shaping, the cockpit PP, and the nice red and black and gray. Just works. I do have shoulder problems. I mean, in real life and on the toy. If I slide them into the correct spot, they wobble like this. It's very annoying, and I have to slide the shoulders out to not have them flop around. It was weird, but hey, I guess that works. It still looks stupid, you idiot. I do like how they gave the back of the legs their own gap fillers. I don't really care about gaps usually, but it is nice for the people who do. They actually close up and look nice. He comes with another sword, which is also very short. Thankfully, the old one fits into his hand, but yeah, the new one's a bit wibbly. And I wish he had wrist swivels. Like, he's a sword dude. He's got to be more dynamic, so wrist swivels, so he can stab his enemies in the face or get absolutely melted by Unicron. Also, for those who want his wing to disappear because of the sword, you can either fold it down or remove it because it's on a mushroom peg. I remember so many people being extremely mad that you couldn't take the wing off to make it look more accurate. And like, you can. Like, just wait till the toy comes out. And the cannons. These are cool. You can fold them up to be on the shoulders to be more accurate, or fold them back like the Thrilling 31, which is how I prefer them to look. They fold forward and their barrels are blast effect compatible, so you can recreate the bit where he fucking dies. I know spring-loaded missiles are expensive and are totally out of the question on a mainline toy, but friction missiles like the Thrilling 31s would have been nice. They're not that expensive, but then that would have like taken away from sort of the swords. So like I want to know how their budget works. I really want to know how it works so that I could better sort of articulate what I mean. So this figure's articulation is kind of frustrating, if I'm being completely honest, because he has all the points you would want, but they're hindered by like everything. Start with the head. When you turn his head, it knocks into these things. It's the little ear fins that he's got sort of hit those, so you have to move this thing all the way back in order to turn his head. And it also rotates at the back, which is kind of strange. And if I go this way, it likes to pop back. Not this way. This way is fine, but this way it likes to sort of, and thunk, there it goes. It's just weird. I think my joint is slightly broken with the little head poppy thing. But yeah, with these up, he can't turn his head unless you look up a little bit and then sort of turn it. Also, when he looks up, you're just sort of like exposing his neck joint. It looks strange. The wings can move back and forth and can swivel, so I personally like to flare them up a little bit and back. That's how I display mine. Shoulders can rotate, they can go in and out, and the in and out looks alright, I guess. They're supposed to be down here, but like I said, these are... Oh my god. Look at that. Look at how floppy that is. Like, it looks weird. It's really floppy. I don't like it. So they go here. You got bicep swivels, double jointed elbows due to transformation, which is nice. Nothing at the wrists, like I said, kind of annoying. Waist joint. He has one, but like, that's all you get out of it. Which is not bad, but I would have liked to have been more. It's very difficult with this design because the cockpit's sticking out of the front there. So you got to kind of lift it to sort of do anything with it, but oops. But yeah, it's peg in, you idiot. Oh my god. It is a little annoying. That, and it's really loose on my copy, so that's also kind of annoying. More annoying in jet mode, but I'll talk about that later. Hips can go forward, like all the way up, which is nice. They can go back too, and if you move the cannons out of the way, they can go back all the way. He got in and out on a soft detent, which is nice. He doesn't like fall over. Well, he falls over like that. What I mean is he doesn't do the splits by himself, which is nice. You got thigh rotation on double mushroom pegs. Love to see those. Single jointed knee that bends a little over 90. And if you want more bend, you can open up the gap filler and just sort of get it all the way in, which is nice. But then you have that sticking out, so that's up to you. And the feet can go forward and back. Always love that. And ankle pivot. Not the deepest, but it's there. So that's nice. But it's just that limited waist, the wonky shoulders, the weird head, the lack of wrist swivels. It all just... Stop moving. It all just like annoys me to the point where posing this isn't really fun because you can't get him into something that looks decent because of that head or because of the shoulders on my copy or like just anything really. The waist, it's so difficult because articulation is like the main gimmick of the Generations toy line and it just doesn't really work that well here on this toy. It's a shame. While Legends Wheelie is made of nothing, he literally just exploded when I hit him with Starscream. Oh man, just buy this one instead. Transformation follows the same formula as the other two molds. It's very familiar, but still satisfying to do. The arms click rather nicely into place, and the legs can be a bit of a pain, especially with those gap fillers trying to get them around everything else. But for the most part, it's fine. I just wish the swords had a better place to store than just the bottom of the wings sticking straight out. Jet mode is great. Because he can poof. You remember that? I haven't done that in a while. It's a nice jet. I wish it had landing gear, but it still looks neat. They got the shape done like very well, and the important details are all there. They did the arms more traditionally rather than the Thrilling 31, which I'm happy with. I will say the legs don't like to peg in properly on the back of mine, and the loose waist doesn't help at all, which is quite annoying. And like I said earlier, the weapon storage could be more desirable, but as it is weapons, you can just leave them off, which is what I do. It's an alright figure. It doesn't blow me away like Metroplex or do anything neat like Override. It exists. It's fun, but like, is it worth the 45 Canadian dollars? I'd go with no. Grab it on sale if you can, and it'll probably start getting reduced sometime soon because Evolution Wave 1 is starting to trickle out in a lot of places. But yeah, for the full 45, that was a lot of Fs. I don't really think it's worth that price. But that's my look at Legacy Armada Starscream. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.